Welcome to Practically. Welcome to Practically. This is Nagarani. Hi students. Today we are going to learn an interesting topic. Let us have a discussion first. India have a huge history, Asian civilization, and it has expanded in all the areas globally, in economically, socially, in all the spheres. India has spreaded all the world countries, and let us know about our country in detail in aspects of geographical features. Let us have a discussion regarding our Indian geographical features. So let's look. Today our class begins, that is, we are going to learn about location and physical features of India. So what are the physical features? Do we have students? We have different types of features. We are like different, our parental and parents, and different types of features. We are with different features. So in the same way, on the landforms, that is on the structure of the landforms also, we learn in detail our country's physical features. Okay, let us go into a location. India's size and location, and we learn about physical features of our country. Let us have a look. Children, just look at this globe. Can you see the globe over on the screen? Just look at these two globes. What did you find here on this globe 1? Can you see the globe 1? Here. The globe 1 represents latitudes and the globe 2 represents longitudes. Can you tell me how many latitudes exist? And these lines were imaginary lines. There are 181 latitudes and there are 360 longitudes. Okay, on the whole, if you take the latitudes are the lines parallelly drawn over. Okay, the longitudes are the lines which are joining like this. You can see over on these two globes. So let us have a close look of this globe 1. Look at the globe 1, students, and here is a line which we call it as a 0 degrees longitude. We call it as an equator. So look at this first globe, and what does this equator do to the globe? What did you see in this image 1? In the image 1, you see that equator is dividing the globe into two parts. Equator is dividing the globe into two parts. That is, the upper part is been called as northern hemisphere, and downer part is called as southern hemisphere. Okay, so these, when you are representing the latitudes, they are represented with southern hemisphere is represented with S and northern hemisphere it represents with N. Okay, so these, why do we have created these imaginary lines? To locate the places, to identify the places on the globe, or to find out which location they exist. See, today we use a Google Maps from place to place. When we travel, we use help of these latitudes and longitudes where the exact place locates. Okay, so these latitudes help us in all the areas to locate exact place. So let us go for the longitudes. Longitudes are the longer lines and they are the lengthy lines and they are full circle lines. Okay, they are full circle lines and there are completely 360 longitudes, 180 to one hemisphere and 180 to the other hemisphere. We see the exact middle longitude, which we call it as a prime meridian. It will divide the globe again into two hemispheres. You see this is an eastern hemisphere and this is western hemisphere. Okay, so we look over here, that is the places which are locating towards this side of the globe. That means after the prime meridian, we call them as in eastern hemisphere places, and the places which are towards the west side, we call them as a western hemisphere places. Okay, so let us have why we were discussing about these latitudes before going for the India's size and location. That means you need to know about the India structure. See, India lies exactly, yeah, it's closer to equator at these places. Okay, so it will be in this form. That means it is exactly to the eastern hemisphere and completely in the northern hemisphere. So you need to remember that India exactly remains at these areas. Got it, children? Okay, so this is about the location. Always we need to remember that India lies completely in the northern hemisphere and completely comes to the eastern hemispheres. When we are locating the places, eastern latitude, okay, eastern latitude, and when you see for longitudes, eastern longitudes, and latitudes, northern latitudes. Okay, so you need to remember that when you are locating the place on the map or finding out any location in India, we represent with north and eastern only. Okay, let us have a look. Just hi, yes, this is Nagrani. Yeah, children, once look at the screen, and here was a question for you all. Okay, the Tropic of Cancer does not passes through. The Tropic of Cancer does not passes through which one of the state? Just please answer me this question. Can I see the answers? Yes. Yes. Anyone? Hi. Can I get an answer from you all? Yes. Which no is not a Chhattisgarh. It's not a Chhattisgarh. Yes. Yes, exactly. It's Orissa is the right answer. Your answer is Orissa. Okay, let us look a close look of this map. You can find it over here. See, you can find it. This is the line which is dividing the India into two parts. The line is called as 23.5 degrees north latitude, and it is called as Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so this line is passing in India among different states. Let us now place it in the number wise. The first state, Gujarat, and the second state, Rajasthan, is just touching here. And you can see Madhya Pradesh, 3, Chhattisgarh, 4, Jharkhand, 5, West Bengal, 6, and here is, this is Tripura, this is 7, and this is Mizoram, 8. So Tropic of Cancer is passing in 8 states in India. Okay, you will be getting a NTSE question on this, that in which states does this Tropic of Cancer is passing, or sometime the question may comes, which state is this longitude, Tropic of Cancer is not passing, in which among the following states we can also get a question in that form. Okay, let us have a look over on this once. See, so this is Tropic of Cancer, and coming with there is also one more feature you need to know in this map, that is Palk Strait. India is divided with the Sri Lanka. We can see a small strait is passing, a inlet of water in between India and Sri Lanka, which is separated by the strait, which we call it as Palk Strait, and there is also a Gulf of Mannar, which is dividing these two land masses. Okay, so that also you can find it over on this map, and there are also some of these peaks you can see. We will go in detail in the Himalayas, important peaks and deltas in the physical features. Just have a look over this. Match the following. Let us have a look of this match the following here. Can you tell me these match the columns? Column 1 with the column 2. Column 1 are yes, column 1 we have states. Yes. Yes, column 1 we have states and the column 2 we have capitals. Let us have a look on this screen. Yeah. Yes, let's look. There's 8 degrees 4 minutes and 68 degrees 7 minutes and 97 degrees 25 minutes. If it is one stroke, it's a minutes, and if it is a 2 strokes, you need to count it as read it as a seconds. Okay, 37 degrees 6 minutes yen and 82 degrees 30 minutes east and 6 degrees 45 minutes north. So let us have match with this states. Can anyone tell the option? Which option is the right answer? Yes. Yes, first one. 8 degrees 4 minutes. Yes. 8 degrees 4 minutes with which of the following? Which of the following we can match? Which of the following place we can match this latitude? Yes. Yes. Avinash? Avinash, you are telling Chandigarh? No, there is no option of Chandigarh here. Yes. Is it? Okay, I'll be telling you all. 8 degrees 4 minutes. 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude. This is the latitude. You can see over here the edge point of the India, where we call it as an ending point of Kanyakumari. We say it's 8 degrees 4 minutes latitude. It's a last edge point of the Cape. Okay, let us have a look over here. Also, we have another latitude, that is ending point of India, that we say that 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. Okay, so these two latitudes, from this latitude to this latitude, it was spreading over, it was spreading in between these two latitudes. And coming with 8 degrees 4 minutes, that is Kanyakumari. And let us have a look, 68 degrees. You can see this is the longitude. These two are the longitudes. Latitudes are the lines drawn parallelly. Okay, longitudes are the lines which are drawn horizontally. Okay, so let us have a 68 degrees 7 minutes from this longitude to this longitude, that is 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. You can see that India extension. Okay, so that is 68 degrees 7 minute east longitude. It's matched with which of these places? Can I get an answer from you all? Can I get an answer from you all, students? Yes. Rajasthan? No. Kartika, your answer Kanyakumari, that is previous, I think so, yes. Okay, for this it's matched with C. Okay, the first one is F and second one is C. It's matched with Gujarat. Next, 97 degrees 25 east longitude. It's matched with which among the place? Which one of the places? Can you tell me? Yes. Which place lies at these areas? Children, you can look it over here. Which state it is in this edge point? Can I have answer from you all? Madhya Pradesh? No. It's Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Next, 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. This place. Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, right answer. Yes. Next, coming for 82 degrees 30 seconds. 30 minutes is the longitude we see exactly here. Okay, so we call it as, yes, you can see over this place. Okay, see children, we need to have an idea about here at these places. You know that from one longitude to another, the sun rising take place to one longitude to other longitude, it takes 4 minutes. It takes 4 minutes to pass out. Okay, so let us have a look over here. If the sun rises first in the Arunachal Pradesh, to sunrise in this Gujarat, it takes 2 hours. That means for every longitude, it takes 4 minutes. Okay, so in that format, if you go on, there will be a lagging of time in the country. We can't follow it in each place, different timings. Okay, to avoid this confusion, we have taken it in an average. Okay, average of these longitudes, that adding with 68 with 97 by dividing with 2, we get the exactly 82.5 longitude. That means 82.5 is represented as 82 degrees 30 minutes. Half will be considered as. Okay, so in that format, we follow the time which is being considered at this place will be applied to the whole nation. Okay, it will be applied to the whole nation. That's why we call it as a standard meridian time. Okay, standard meridian time. So this is the longitude. It matches with Allahabad. Why it is Allahabad means it's a place touching this longitude, that is 82 degrees 30 minutes longitude, is passing through the city of Allahabad in UP, and if you come for in the AP, it's passing through Kakinada. Okay, and just beside the Sri Lanka you can find this while locating also. So in which of the places it is passing, that is Allahabad is a place where in India 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude is passing. So it matches with D. F, C, 97, Arunachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, and what about this 6 degrees 45 minutes longitude? Can anyone tell me what is this longitude? Can I get from you answer? Children, can I have an answer for this 6 degrees 4 minutes? This is the longitude, 6 degrees 45 minutes east longitude, which is very closer to the equator. Okay, 6 degrees means it's from 0 just above. Okay, that is in the place in the Andaman Nicobar Islands, that is the place Indira Point was the end point of the country, which has been submerged in 2004 in tsunami, and that was a place we call it as Indira Point, which is the ending point of the Andaman Nicobar Island, that is 6 degrees 45 minutes east longitude. We see that. So that by this we can say that matching. Let us have a look, that is answer will be E. Okay. Let us have another question here. Yes. Yeah. Please read out this question. The landmass of India has an area of dash million square kilometers. Can I have an answer from you all? Yes. The landmass of India has an area of dash million square kilometers. Dash million square kilometers. You can find, you can take an examples which are being given here. You can choose the right option. Yes. The option C, that is 3.28 million square kilometers. If you take the complete area of the country, that is 3.28 million square kilometers if you take area wise. Okay, so this is a geographical structure of the country. Let us have a look over this map. This is a country's map. Here you can see the location of the country, and let us have different land features. You can find it over here. That means especially how the structure of the country, it was becoming as taper. That means it's becoming shorter when it's extending into the southern part, and as this landform is dividing the water bodies into two parts, and it's becoming as an inlet of land at the edge, we call it as a cape. Okay, Cape of Comorin, where the land is extended into water, we call it as a cape, and we call Cape of Comorin. And you can find it Tropic of Cancer here, and how this neighboring countries. Let us have a look of neighboring countries. We see northern Pakistan, northwest, this is northwest. We see Afghanistan, and we see northern direction of the country. We see Nepal and Bhutan, completely north. Okay, this is west, northwest, and north Nepal and Bhutan. And coming with east, Bangladesh and Myanmar. These are the neighboring countries. And coming completely south, we see Sri Lanka and a small group of islands also we find below here. They call it as Maldives. Maldives and Sri Lanka are the countries which are the boundaries, neighboring boundaries of south. Okay, so this is about, just have a look about these images. What did you find in the image 1? Let us have a look of the first image. Yes? Yeah? I think you people have known that there will be a difference between day and night particularly in particular seasons. Yes. Okay. So let us have a look why there will be a differences between day and night. Summers will be longer days and nights will be shorter, whereas coming for the winters, nights will be longer and day will be shorter due to some of the factors that you can see in this image, that why day and nights are different. Okay, but in few of the places, the places which are closer to equator where the Tropic of Races falls directly, that places will be, the climate will be different. Okay, so let us see now, these are the some of the season wise how this climatal changes occurs. Okay, so you can see that the place which is facing toward the sun, they experiences summer, and the places which are far away, that is the picture 1 in the first slide we have come across the globe which is facing toward the sun, the other hemisphere will experiences winter. Okay, the which is facing towards the sun will experiences summer seasons, and the places which are the hemisphere which is opposite direction will be experiencing winter season. Let us have a look in this image. You can have a clear look. The places which are facing towards the sun, you can see these are experiencing summer. This hemisphere will experiences summer. The places which are far, that in this hemisphere experiences winter. Okay, and there is another reason even why the day and nights are differ, that is the earth tilt in the sense it was just slanted towards one direction. Okay, with an angle of 23.4 degrees, this angle the earth has been just slanted to one side, so we call it as an tilt of axis. Okay, due to this tilt of axis, even the day and night differences also occurs. Okay, let us have a look. Yeah, come for the India along with the top 10 countries. You all know that India has a huge population. Okay, let us have a look the first top 10 populated countries, and here are the few countries. Can you identify the countries in this map? Yes? Can I know this country? 1. What is this? Can I know the country? Yes. Students, you can text me. See the map. Yes. Identify the country. Yeah. China? No. This one. I think you can see this. Now, let us have a look over this map. Here, the country one, identify the country from the given map. Here first, these are the colored map. Yes, colored areas are the highly populated areas. Identify from the map. Now, the first, identify the first country. Yes, yeah, it's Russia. Okay, it's Russia. Next, identify this. I'm mentioning as 2. Identify the country here. You can identify this. Yes. Can I have an answer from you all? Am I not audible? Okay. Yeah. You can hear me now. Yeah, you can hear me now. Okay. See. Identify the country 2 here. This. Identify the country here. It's Australia. Yes. Coming with, identify this. Yes. Yes. Can I have a look? Oh. Okay. It's China. Can you identify this country? 4. Yes. Country 4, which I have mentioned as a 4, not as per this. I'm asking you to identify the country from the given map here. It's Sudan. And let us have a look. Yes. Brazil. Yes, you are right. It's Brazil. Okay. So let us have match with this. Okay. Green, Russia, China, it's Brazil, Australia, India, Argentina, okay, and Sudan. Okay, these are the top 10 populated countries, and in that Russia stands first place and its population is 17.08 million. Okay, and coming second place Canada, and this one, and third place USA. Next comes China, 4th place, and Brazil 5th, and Australia 6th, and India stands in the population 7th place. Okay, so after India, you can see there are the 3 more countries, that is Argentina, Kazakhstan and Sudan are these 3 countries comes next to India, which are in the form of population. Let's children just read out this question. The Suez Canal has reduced the distance between India and Europe. Yes. The Suez Canal has reduced the distance between India and Europe by how many kilometers? You need to answer it. Option A, 7,000 kilometers. Option B, 6,500 kilometers. And option C, 7,500 kilometers and 6,900 kilometers. Can I have an answer? Yes? Yes? No? Students, can I get an answer from you all? Which option is the right answer? Answer is A, 7,000 kilometers. C, it's an artificial canal. It's an artificial canal, Swiss canal, which has been constructed in 1869 to reduce. Earlier, people from Asia and West Asian countries, either they used to travel to Europe through land routes, and land routes, they have been called as silk routes. Okay, so as there is a many complications, and passing this different type of terrain is very difficult to pass on. Okay, so they have navigated through the seaways, and they used to travel whole distance, like via Cape of Good Hope, that is Africa, and they need to reach to Europe. So it's a long distance, it takes months to reach Europe. Okay, so this has been reduced once the Swiss Canal has been constructed at this place. This is the Mediterranean Sea, and this is the middle one, this is called Red Sea. Okay, Red Sea and Mediterranean Sea are been connected with a artificial canal, which we call it as a Swiss canal. Suez Canal, and this canal has reduced 7,000 kilometers of distance. Instead of traveling all this, we can easily reach to the Mediterranean Sea, from there to the European countries. So this was an important invention in 1869. And let us have a look over this image. Yeah, this is a places you can find in the first image, that features of landforms, different features of landforms. You can find it. Some are higher elevated areas, we call them as a mountains, and some of them like sandy areas, we call it as a desert, and we can find oceanic or lakes, waterfalls. Different types of landforms exist on the earth's surface, and we find in India different type of category of people in the form of religion, in the form of diversified religions, diversified landforms, diversified different socially, people were living in different lifestyles, languages, and different culture, tradition, and all. Okay, so as this diversified culture and tradition, in the same form, we find on the landforms also different. So let us have a different types of landforms. What are the different types of landforms? We call them as physical features. Physically, what do you mean by the physically? The word physically means which can be appear to us. Okay, we can see them. These which can be viewable. Okay, so these physical features are being majorly classified under 6 categories. 6 categories. So first, let us have a question here. See, which of the following physical feature of India is a recent most one? There are 6 physical features. Yes. And these 6 physical features, can you tell me? Yes. Can you tell me which is the which physical feature has been recently formed one? Recently formed physical feature. Can you guess the answer? Yes. The answer is the Himalayan mountains. See, the remaining, these are the physical features. This feature number 1, feature number 2, 3, 4, and here we have a desert, 5, and island groups. This is a 6. Okay, so these are the 6 features. These all are very older, but whereas coming for this northern mountains, that is Himalayas, are been recently formed in the sense due to the movement of the internal structure of the earth's surface, that is in the mantle areas, we find plates. Okay, so which are been floating in the mantle. Due to that plates movement, there was a colliding, and there will be a intersection of these two plates, and sometimes the plates move farther. Okay, in that process of movement, there are earlier we can say that, see, earlier it was only a one landform and the sea was surrounded by it. Due to this plate's movement, this landform has divided into two parts. One is Pangaea and other one is Gondwana. And later on, due to this plate's tectonic movement, these Pangaea and Gondwana, even in the evolution process, they have been divided into different landforms, that is 7 continents and 5 oceans. And these, in this process, where the Himalayas have been formed. Himalayas has been formed in the process of these 7 continents and 5 oceans have been formed. In that process, even when the Gondwana landform has extended into towards this Pangaea, and a part of this landforms was attached to this luration plate, and in that process, when it was spreaded, it went on, foldings occurred at these areas. We call them as a Himalayas. Okay, let us have a look over this. See, these were the Himalayan regions, the northern. In detail, let us have a look over here. Himalayas are been basically based on okay. See, Himalayas are basically divided into two categories. One is latitudinally and longitudinally. Okay, let us first discuss about latitudinally and longitudinally, one after the other. And you can see over this browner structure, Himalayan region. Okay, so in this part, depend upon elevation. Depend on elevation, that means height of the place, altitude based. Okay, so the places are divided into 3 categories. The first one, Greater Himalayas, we call as Himadri. We call them as Himadri. And the second one is Lesser Himalayas, and we call them as Himachal. And third one is Outer Himalayas. Outer Himalayas, and we call them as Shivaliks. Okay, so let us have a look over here. See, the first, where it is more than 6,000, average will be 6,000 meters height of elevated areas, were been considered as in Himadri regions, where we find different types of peaks over at these places. We can find here Kanchenjunga, K2, Mount Everest. Okay, so these are some of the places you can find it over on the map in the Himadri region, and it is completely covered with ice. And we find it was underneath this Himadri region, there was a granite, the decompose of granite, we can find it over underneath this Himadri region. And coming with the Lesser Himalayas or the Himachal region, when it's come for the elevation, that is 3,700 to 4,500 meters elevated areas were considered as a Lesser Himalayas. We call them as Himachal. Okay, this region is being we find some of the regions over here like Kashmir, Kulu valleys, we can find it over in the Himachal region, which are very much scenic beauty places playing a major role in the tourism, and that is lesser Himalayas. And coming with the third one is Shivaliks. Shivaliks are like below 3000, and it's like 1500 to 3000. We find it as a Shivalik region, and here it's completely out of Himalayas, and these regions were like a forest structure, a foot of Himalayas. We can call it as a foot of Himalayas even. Okay, and this like this they have been divided over here. You can see this is Himadri, Himachal, Shivaliks. Okay, Himadri, there are some ranges in the Himadri. We call with the names like Karakoram ranges, Zaskar ranges in the first Himadri region. And coming with the Himachal, we call with different other ranges. We call them as Mahabharat, range, Dhauladhar range, Pir Panjal range. Okay, so these are the ranges we find in the Himachal region, and while between the range means a continuous mountainous structure. In between these ranges we find some valleys, low-lying lands, and at some of the places in between Himadri and Shivaliks also a low-lying in between Himadri and in between Himadri and Himachal, there are some low-lying in between these two land features also. We call them as a dunes. Dunes like Dehradun, Kotli Dun, Patli Dun are some of the examples of these dunes. You can have an image of this Himalayas. These are, you can see, these are the longitudinal. Yeah, let us look at this slide over here. That's about northern plains. In the previous slide, we have, okay, longitudinal, one minute. Yes, okay. Yeah, let us have a longitudinal division of Himalayas. We have completed, and let us go for the latitudinal division of Himalayas. Here we can have a latitudes based on this elevation they have been divided, and coming for this latitudinal division, they based on the river basins it has been divided. See, from the Indus to Kali river we called as a Punjab Himalayas, and Kali river to Ghangar we called as Ganga basin, and it's in these areas, these Himalayas, where we called it as Humayun Himalayas. And coming with Ghangar to Tesita, it's called Nepal Himalayas, and from Tesita to Dibang rivers, okay, so we call them as Assam Himalayas. Okay, so based on the river basins also, the Himalayan region was been divided. Okay, that means it's Punjab Himalayas, Humayun Himalayas, Nepal Himalayas, Assam Himalayas. Along with these features, there is also additionally the Himalayas are extending like an arc-like structure from north to west. It's of 2,400 kilometers. And in the northern areas, it is broader. As it's moving towards the east, the breadth has been reduced. Okay, so it's completely 2,400 kilometers. Not only this northern structure, it was taken up in bend and it was traveling. The Himalayas were extended towards in these states. Even they are called with different names in these places. We call them as Purvanchal Himalayas. And these Purvanchals locally called with different names. In Arunachal Pradesh, they are called as Purvanchal. In the Nagaland, it called as Naga Hills. Mizoram, it's called Mizo Hills. Okay, so this is about latitudinal division of Himalayas. Let us go for the next physical feature, that is northern plains. Northern plains is a second land feature and which we call as a rice bowl of the country, and just adjacent, just below the Himalayan region. We see this is the second feature. We can find it over there, northern plains. Here also we can find it, a few of Gujarat, even northern plains. Okay, so these are the plains which are fed by different rivers. Okay, so let us have a look of this northern plains. Northern plains are being drained by different rivers. Again, the northern plains, let us have a look. The northern plains are being divided on regionally as well as the longitudinally, even here. First, coming for the regional wise, Punjab plains, Ganga plains and Brahmaputra plains. This Punjab plain is a plain which is being fed by the river Satluj. Based on the river draining, that Satluj and its tributaries which are feeding this place, which are being in this basin, we called them as a Punjab plain. And where the river Ganga and its tributaries flows, we called it as a Ganga plain. And where the river Brahmaputra flows, in that regions, we call it as here you can see this is in Satluj, that is Punjab plains, and this completely central we see Ganga plain, Satluj plain, and this part of region we call it as Brahmaputra plain. Okay. Now, coming for the longitudinal divisions. What are these longitudinal divisions? When the rivers were flowing from the higher lands to the lower landforms, the speed of the river depends upon the speed of the river, the velocity of the river. Sometimes it gets reduces when it comes for the gentle slopes. Okay, so that based on that features, some of the different types of features have been formed, that is Babar, Therai, Bhangar and Khadar. So Babar is a landform where the river carries, when it's flowing from the higher regions to the lower areas, it carries pebbles, silt and all. Okay, so where the place which has been pebbled stoned areas where the water percolates and these pebbles, so that region we will consider as a Babar. And Therai is a marshy and swampy lands we find at the foot of Himalayas, and these places were called as Therai. And Bhangar, it's an old alluvial soil and Khadar is a new alluvial soil. Okay, so this based on these type of features, the longitudinally northern plains can be divided. Along with these features, I can also tell you the river when it's flowing, it's is been river basin was divided into three courses. The course 1 we called as upper course, where its origin and flows down from the higher areas to the lower areas. Upper coast, coming middle course, and the lower course, where the end, that means where the river merge with a sea or an ocean. Okay, so in this process, the river forms different types of landforms, even along with the Bagar, Babar, Tarai, Bangar and Kadar. There are some of the landforms, that is riverine lands, distributaries, tributaries, doabs, all these different types of landforms wherein different types of features have been created in their process of river course. Okay, so let us go for the next feature. That's a peninsular plateau and the coastal. Okay. Before that, have an answer to this question. In which physiographical division of India will you find the perchance? Yes, in which of the physical features? Can you look it over this map? Can you tell me in which of the landforms we find perchance? Option A, the Himalayan mountains, the northern plateaus, and the Indian desert and the island groups. Yes? Can I have an answer from you all? The answer is Indian desert. Okay, so these are the perchance where the with the movement of sand storms, where the heaps of sand is gathered at during these sandstorms, they are formed. Okay, so we call them as perchance. People visit to Jaisalmer and to look over the view of this perchance in the night times we can find it. Let us have a look of this map. See, this is a great Indian desert, and can you tell me which is the river which is flowing in the desert region? Can you name the river which is flowing in the Thar desert? Yes. Yes. Can I have what is the river which is flowing in the Thar desert regions? Yes. Can I have an answer? Yes. Okay. The answer is Luni. Luni is a river which is flowing in the Thar desert. Okay, so let us have the fourth feature, that is the plateau region. So this is the plateau region. We can find it over here. It's a tabled land, and it is, when comparing with the other remaining regions, it was like it's like elevated areas. We find a table like landform at these regions, and it is been surrounded by Aravallis in the north and Chota Nagpur in this east, and we see the Western Ghats over here on the west direction and Eastern Ghats on the eastern side. So overall, all the plateau region was surrounded by different types of land features, and there are some ranges of hills, Ghats areas. We can find it here also. We find it Raj Mahal hills. Okay, so plateau was, when you come for a deep structure of a plateau, the plateau basically divided into two parts. The upper region is called as Central Plateau and the down one is called Deccan Plateau. So in the central plateau, again it was divided into two parts, and here the central plateau and Deccan plateau was divided by Narmada river. You can see over here Narmada river is flowing. The Narmada river divides the plateau into two parts, that is central and Deccan plateau. So the upper part of this Narmada river, we call it as a Malwa, and whereas the bottom one is called as Deccan plateau. And whereas coming towards the eastern direction, we see here Chota Nagpur plateau, and which is rich in minerals, and in between the Malwa and Chota Nagpur a small plateaus were been created. We call them as Bundelkhand and Bundelkhand plateau regions between these two regions. Whereas coming for the Deccan plateau, we find here Vindhya and Satpura in between these two, central and Deccan plateau. So Vindhya ranges dividing central plateau with the Deccan plateau, and there is also few other Mahadev and Kaimur ranges in the Deccan plateau regions. So this is about plateau regions, and one important question is that highest peaks, and that is Annaimudi and Dodabetta. These are the highest peaks in South India in the Ghats sections, that is Western Ghats, and in the Nilgiris, Dodabetta, and in the Western Ghats, if the question comes, Annaimudi overall. Okay. Coming for the coastal plains. Coastal plains, these are the coast which is been touched towards the sea. Okay, coast. This is western coast, eastern coast. So the coast which is along the Arabian Sea, we call it as a western coast, and the coast which is along the Bay of Bengal, we call it as eastern coastal plain. Okay, so these plains again depend on states, they were been, and depend on type of terrain of this plains. It was divided again into three categories. Whereas coming for the western coastal plains, it's like Gujarat coast is called Gujarat coast, and coming with the down from here, we call it as Maharashtra and Goa. For Maharashtra and Goa, we called as Konkan coast. Okay, and coming for Karnataka, Canara coast. Coming for Kerala, it's called as Malabar coast. Okay, so this is about western coast. So you need to understand which state's coast is called with which specified names. Okay, coming for the eastern coastal plains. Eastern coastal plains also same as western coastal plains, three, and you can see over here Orissa and West Bengal, it's called as Utkal coast, and AP we called as Northern Serikars, and Tamil Nadu we call it as Coromandel coast. Okay, so based on these landforms and types of differ from one place to another, they are being divided under these categories, that is coastal plains. And along with one of the important in the eastern Ghats, Mahendragiri, and coming for the western Ghats, Annaimudi and Dodabetta are the important ones. And here in the even Chilka Lake in Orissa is also one of the important feature in the eastern Ghats. Yeah. Let us yes. Yeah. Here is a question for you all. Yes. If you intended to visit the island of Kavarati during the summer vacation, which of the following union territory of India will you go to? Okay, option A, Puducherry, option B, Lakshadweep, option C, Diu and Daman, and option D, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Which of the island will you go? Which of this union territory will you visit to go to the Kavarati? Yes. Yes. Can I have an answer? Yes. Lakshadweeps. Lakshadweep. It was an administrative capital of Lakshadweep. Kavarati was an okay. Now let us have there are two island groups. I'll show it. Yeah. Here are the two island groups, Lakshadweeps and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay. Can you tell me the island of Andaman Nicobar Islands capital? Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hmm. No. Can I get an answer from you all? What is the capital of Andaman Nicobar Islands? Administrative capital of Andaman Nicobar Islands. No answer. Portable. Portable was a yes. Now and here Lakshadweeps. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there are the two island groups in India. So one is Lakshadweep and other one is Andaman Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep lies in the Arabian Sea and very closer to Kerala. And Andaman Nicobar Islands were the group of islands. One is Andaman, other one is Nicobar. And in previous first slide we have come across that is Indira Point lies in this Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, so Lakshadweeps was a coral based origin islands, and when you come for Andaman Nicobar Islands, it was an extended mountainous region of the Myanmar which has been submerged in the water, and the upper topper features were been visible on the as a landforms. We call them as Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, and we see Andaman Nicobar Islands, there is one island which is well known for volcano origin island. Its name Barren Lands. Barren was one of an island which is in volcano origin landform. Okay. Next, let us have a discussion on the different types of landforms. Yes, now let us see now some of this plateau region. What is the difference you find between the plateau and the coastal plains? What is the difference between the plateau and the coastal plains? Plateau land is a tabled land which is in high elevated, and whereas the coastal plains were the sloping landforms and they were adjacent to sea. They were adjacent to sea. Okay, so that is the difference. You need to find it over here. And coming for the plateau, here you need to find a important question I want to ask you, where the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats meet at. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats meet at. Can you tell me where the place Western Ghats, these Ghats and Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, both are meeting at a place. And one important feature you need to note a point that Western Ghats were continuous. And whereas Eastern Ghats were not continuous, they were being divided by some of the rivers which are flowing here. Okay, like Godavari, Mahanadi and Krishna, which are dividing this set. Okay, so these two Ghats were meeting at Nilgiris. Okay. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats are meeting at Nilgiris, and like this. In this Nilgiris, we find that Dorbetta, okay. Now, let us have another question from this map. Yes. Can you tell me the mountainous peaks from this map? Mountainous peaks. Yes. Can you identify? Here, K2 in Karakoram ranges, and in the Nepal, we find Mount Everest, and here we find Kanchenjunga. Okay, the important points where it will be focused over here, and coming with where which rivers are being, like if you see, it's Indus tributaries, that is Jhelum, Ravi, Chenab and all were the tributaries which are feeding this place. Ganga and its tributaries, you need to focus it on which is not the Ganga river origin. Okay, it's not a tributary or distributary. And one more important question I want to ask you all, what is the difference between tributary and distributary? Tributary and distributary. What do you mean by tributary and distributary? When a river is joined, when the river is flowing, a stream is joined by a river, it's called tributary. A larger river, a big river or a larger river joined by a stream Okay, it's called as tributary. Whereas distributary means a larger river splits into parts. Okay, it was splitting into parts. We call it as a distributaries. Yeah. Now, can you tell me identify the river in this map? Yes, identify the river in this place which is dividing the plateau, that is Central and Deccan Plateau. Identify the river which is dividing the plateau regions under Central and Deccan Plateau. So, can you name the river? It's Narmada. Narmada is the river which is dividing the Central Plateau and the Malwa Deccan Plateau. Okay, so you need to underline this. And coming with the Deccan Plateau. Deccan Plateau was surrounded by north side Mahadev Hills and Kaimur Hills. Okay, and Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Okay, so that point you need to be noted down. Yes. Next. Then here was another question for you all. Okay, can you name the hills which are being called the Himalayas, which are called in the Mizoram? Himalayas are called in Mizoram. And yes, the Himalayas in Mizo called as Mizo Hills. Okay, and they are being called locally Purvanchal even. Okay, let us have another question from here. Why the Himalayas have taken a pin bend over here? Can you mention the peak which is located at this region? Can you name the peak which is taking Himalayas taking a pin bend towards the south? Can you name the peak? Yes. It's Namcha Barwa. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I can get Coromandel Coast. Abhijit notes. Yeah, sure. We'll provide you. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let us once again recollect the slide. Yes. How many physical features exist? Six physical features. First one, the northern mountains, northern plains, the Peninsular Plateau, coastal plains, Indian islands, and the Thar Desert. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Let us have in detail the land features mainly divided into plateaus, mountains and plains. Yes. So these were the first major order of landforms. And first form, continents and oceans. Second form is this. And again, if you go in deeper, we find these are the different types of land features. That is hills, forests, lakes, oceans, sand dunes. There are many more. Okay. Valleys, ghats. Yes. Next, sand dunes. Okay. Yes. Dunes, normal dunes even. Yes. Can you tell me few more landforms along with this rather than this? Yes. Few more than this picture. Can I get a few more different types of landforms? Third order landforms. These were called as third order landforms. Sorry, waterfalls, not a ocean. Oh. Yes, third order landforms. Yes, deltas. Yes, right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we have learned 6 physical features. So a question for NTSE definitely comes from this topic on any of the physical feature or area size and location. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So how many physical features we have come across? 6 physical features. Yes. How many physical features we have come across? 6 physical features. Yes. What are the latitudinal divisions? Latitudinal divisions of Himalayas. Can you name 3 the latitudinal divisions of Himalayas? Latitudinal divisions of Himalayas. Himadri. Yes. Can I get an answer from y'all? Okay. Oh. Yes. Latitudinal division of Himalayas. Longitudinal divisions of Himalayas. Latitudinal divisions of Himalayas. Punjab Himalayas, Kumaun, Nepal, Assam. Longitudinally, Himadri, Himachal and Shivaliks. Yes. Yeah. What are the ranges which are dividing the plateau in the center of the plateau, which is flowing parallel to Narmada river? Narmada river flows in the Rift Valley. Yes, the Rift Valley, it is flowing and it divides the plateau into two parts. And I should call it in. Yes. Yeah. Can you identify these hills? Yes. This is Aravallis. These are Raj Mahal hills. Yes. And Gir range in Gujarat is one of the important feature. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I hope you understood this class. It's as end.